Hello and welcome back to another episode of this week's watches, and this week we have a great selection as every week, and this is episode 99. Next week is going to be episode 100, which is insane, to think how many of these we have now done, how many watches we have shown over those 100 episodes physically in hand and sort of discussed in detail is just incredible. And I have to thank you guys and girls for that. If it wasn't for you continuing to support the business and the website and the channel and myself, none of this would be possible. So a big thank you for making this happen and allowing us to really sort of show the variety that's available for watch collectors. You don't have to just stick to one brand or even one price point. And that's what we're being able to show week on week here at Kibble Watches, and it's sort of I do think it's making a little bit of a difference. Collectors are starting to realise there are great alternatives out there that can be had at great prices. And also I do think it's doing a little something for the watch dealers out there. It's making them realise that they don't just have to stock the mainstream stuff as well. Take a bit of a risk, get some of the more interesting stuff in to show people. I think it's really cool. But as you can see on the desk, this week we've got some crazy pieces. We've got an insane Zenith I can't wait to show you, a limited edition of 100, which is just bonkers. We've got some cool Rolexes in, including one that I'm really surprised how much I actually like. It's the OP green dial. These pastel colour dials I love. I think they're great. Green was actually probably one of my least favourites. But in person I think it's absolutely brilliant and looks really great. Plus so many more I can't wait to show you. But before we get on to all of that, what is on wrist? So if you follow my personal Instagram at james.kibble, I don't post very often, but when I do, it's usually something watch related anyway. I've been sharing that I've obviously been consolidating the collection massively. You guys and girls know this. My Brunswick Brown is coming up for sale next week. But to sort of consolidate a lot of the collection with more to come, I wanted to trade in, and well, not trade in, but I wanted to find something really versatile that I can wear in pretty much all situations and just enjoy. That's not as expensive as my collective collection, because it's sort of the reason I've been selling it, to create more cash flow for the business whilst we're being able to get so many great watches in, and I'm being offered so much. I just want more cash flow available to be able to buy more stock. So that's the reason I've been doing it. And I did buy an Oyster Perpetual Date 15200, which is the sapphire crystal version. Really great watch. Loved it. That was going to be the one. And then this watch came up. Someone wanted to part exchange it for another watch we had, and the gentleman came in with the watch. It is a 1969 Rolex Oyster Date Precision, so a 6694 reference with a beautifully clean dial. It comes on its original full link rivet bracelet, which I'm having a link taken out as we speak, so it can fit me. It also comes with its box and paperwork. Yes, you heard that right. 1969 box and paperwork, including sales receipts, which was 465 Hong Kong dollars because it was bought in Hong Kong, which when you look at the conversion in 1969, that was about £31. So someone paid roughly £31 for this back in 1969, which is just insane. When you account for inflation, that basically puts it at around £460 today, or thereabouts, which is just insane. So, yeah, this is the one that stayed. The 15200 is already sold. Someone jumped on that, and rightfully so. Gorgeous example, really clean. They're going to be very happy with it. But this is the one that's staying, and the one I'm going to enjoy. Right now on a suede, I think it looks great. So now that all of my rambling is out of the way, let's get on to what you're here to see, which is the watches. And we're going to have to start with the Zenith Defy Extreme. This is the Felipe Pantone edition. Felipe Pantone is an artist. We're going to take a closer look at this one and discuss it in as much detail as we possibly can. But as always, on the website, there is all the details, including price, including extra photos. Everything you could possibly want to know is on there, so make sure you check that out as well. But let's take a closer look at this incredible watch. So what a watch to begin this week with. I mean, have a look at this. This is the Zenith Defy Extreme Felipe Pantone limited edition of 100 pieces. Absolutely incredible. You can see the rainbow right there on the subdial. It's also on the hands, and you can see it on the bottom subdial for the chronograph as well. Really beautifully done. Exhibition case back behind like a smoked screen sapphire. And the case is all highly polished stainless steel with this blue sapphire-like material called YAS or YAS. You can read more about that on our website. We go into nice detail about that, but you can see really incredible. This watch is in fantastic condition. Anything you see is probably fingerprints. You know, we're doing our best to wipe it all down as we go, but this is a fully highly polished watch. So therefore you will see some fingerprints here and there. It's sort of inevitable. The reference to this one is super long. I will not bore you. You can go over to the website and see that. As I say, limited edition to 100 pieces. And inside this, as we open up this strap, which is a really cool sort of translucent blue rubber strap with the deployant clasp, still with stickers on, as you can see. You can see the rainbow caseback spinning away right there, and inside that is the automatic Zenith El Primero caliber 21, which is a 1/100th of a second chrono. So as we start this, prepare yourself. Look at that go. So insane. So insane. And it has two barrels basically. So winding one way, this is a screw down crown, winding one way charges the watch, winding the other way charges the chronograph, and obviously the rotor will charge both as you go. The reason being, this chronograph module and the sort of speed it goes at is hugely draining on the movement, as you can imagine, and therefore requires a almost separate movement altogether. Really, it's not quite like that, but you get what I mean. Really incredible, great watch. The box is incredible as well. Make sure you check out the photos on the website. The bottom subdial is like a foil that you used to get on the sort of rare trading cards, if you know what I mean. That's the kind of look it gives. Really cool. It has their quick release system, which is really simple. You push the button on the underneath and it opens up like so. So you can take off a strap nice and quick and easy. He says, I don't have nails, so it can be a bit of a difficulty at times. There you go. So now you can switch and swap onto whatever strap you want, and it comes with some additional straps, so it's often photographed and shared on this strap. It comes with a super high polished mirror shine Zenith bracelet. This has all of its links included as well. This will totally pick up fingerprints. It's really shiny. And then my favorite personally is this strap. So let's put it on and show you. So this really transforms the wearability of the watch, in my opinion. As you can see, nice and easy to attach the strap back in, just like so, and off you go. This is the black fabric strap. For me, this completely transforms how the watch wears and how the watch looks. On the blue and on the bracelet, it is incredibly loud, in my opinion. Still a really great looking watch, but very loud. This tones it down and makes it super wearable considering the size. And talking about size, let's show this on wrist and talk dimensions in a second. This is from November 2022 and is a complete set. I don't know if I mentioned that, but let's show it on wrist and talk dimensions. And here we go, paired on my 7-inch wrist. This is by no means a small watch. It is certainly a big watch, but on this Zenith strap, this one in particular, I think it wears so well and is super comfortable. Look at that on wrist. It's ridiculous how good that looks. And bearing in mind, a 7-inch wrist is still relatively small. I haven't got a big wrist at all. But what you're looking at is 45mm by 50.5mm lug to lug, 15mm thick, and 26mm at the lug connection all the way down. Tapers quite aggressively to the clasp, which again helps with wearability. But for me, this combination is the winner, and it's something I would totally wear. This is a cool watch. So go check it out on the website today. From that Zenith, let's go on to another Zenith. This is pretty much the same watch, same movement, the Defy 21, the El Primero 21, sorry. But this is the Zenith Defy with the El Primero 21 in titanium with the blue exhibition dial. Incredible. I think this is absolutely awesome. So let's take a closer look. So next up is another Zenith Defy El Primero 21, this time the blue titanium on its bracelet. Again, another fantastic watch, a fraction of the price of the Felipe Pantone. And if the Felipe Pantone isn't for you, I understand. This is certainly a lot more subdued and a bit easier to wear for most people, I would say, just in terms of design. Really great case profile. You guys and girls know I love the Zenith Defy. I think it's a cool watch. I own an original vintage Zenith Defy from 1975, and there certainly is the design cues that have been passed along, not quite to the exact, but it is pretty close, and they've sort of kept true to some of the design. The bracelet is fantastic, super comfortable, really well made. It's a screw head on both sides, so you have to have a screwdriver on both sides to undo the links, which can be a bit of a pain, but it can be done. Again, I won't bore you with the reference to this one. You can see it on the website. It's super long reference, but inside, behind this case back, and you can see that blue rotor right there, really gorgeously finished. This is the Zenith El Primero 1/100th of a second chronograph. So as we start it again, just like the last one, you can see it going absolutely crazy, and winding one way powers the watch, winding the opposite way powers the chronograph, and the rotor will do its job on powering both. A really great movement, really cool to see as well. Running seconds over there at 9 o'clock. Yeah, there's not really an awful lot to say other than how great this is. This is from December 2020 with its box and paperwork, and is priced super fairly when you consider what RRP is and what these are trading for online as well. So let's show on wrist and taut dimensions. And here we go on my 7-inch wrist. You can see a very cool looking watch. This to me is exactly what Zenith is all about. You've got their revival range, which is doing fantastic, and they're sort of reproducing their classics down to the absolute core. And then you've got the Defy range like this, which is really pushing the boundaries of modern design among Zenith, and I think they're doing really well. I really enjoy it. So what you're looking at here is 44mm by 50mm lug to lug, 14mm thick and 23 on the lugs, tapering slightly down to the clasp. But yeah, a very good looking watch. So go check this one out on the website today. So before we get onto the Rolexes, let's go over to the Amiga. This is the Amiga Aqua Terra World Time, a fantastic watch. We've had this model in before in the past. It sold really well, and now Amiga have just done their price increase as well. This is crazily priced now at retail. I still think it's actually pretty good value when you consider what you're getting, but on the pre-owned market for what we're asking, I mean, what are we asking? Around £6,750. I don't usually say the price in these videos because it gets outdated pretty quick, but £6,750 for a complete set. I don't think you can go wrong at all. So let's take a closer look. So next up, the Amiga Aqua Terra World Timer. Right here, the Co-Axial, as you'd expect, paired on the blue rubber strap. So this watch does come on a bracelet or a rubber strap. And I have to be honest, having seen the bracelet one and tried it on, I really prefer the rubber. I think because of the size of the case and just the wearability, the rubber really hugs the wrist and transforms this watch into an incredibly wearable watch on pretty much any occasion you could imagine. Whereas the bracelet, I just don't feel like it really works with the design, but that's just me personally. I won't bore you with the reference of this one. Again, you can see that on the website as we flip it over. Nice exhibition case back showing the beautifully finished Amiga coaxial movement right there. As you can see, just done incredibly well, and that is the Amiga Coaxial caliber 8938. And as you can see on the dial, you have the globe beautifully done in the center. I'm sure we have some great macros of that on the website, so make sure you check them out. The detailing is fantastic. You have an outer ring which rotates and tells you the second time zone. You've got a date down there at the bottom and the world time stated around the edge of the dial. Just a really well done and very practical world time complication. As I say, paired on its original blue Amiga rubber fitted strap, which again is just nicely done, especially with that center metal link. It sort of just makes it pop a little bit more. Really well done. This one's from September 2022, does come with its box and paperwork, and as I say, they have had a price increase recently, so the RRP on this has gone up even more, and again that makes this pre-owned deal even better. So let's show on wrist and taut dimensions, and there we go, comfortably on my 7-inch wrist. Again, it isn't a small watch, but it does not wear as big as you might think the dimensions will lead you to believe at all. This is 43mm by 50mm lug to lug, so right on that 50mm sweet spot I always go on about. 13.5mm thick and 21mm on the lugs, tapering down to the clasp. A very comfortable and very practical watch, and again with a screw down crown, water resistancy, you can sort of go anywhere, do anything with this watch. Perfect travel companion. So go check this one out on the website today. Now on to the Oyster Perpetual 36mm in green, the 126000. A really great watch. The Oyster Perpetuals in general are fantastic. I think you really cannot go wrong with them. Great everyday watches for every scenario you can imagine, and this with the pop of green is really fun. And again, it's very not anti-Rolex, but it's not like Rolex to do this kind of thing. Obviously, it harps back to the stellar dials of the day dates, which we'll discuss more in a second, but let's take a closer look at this one. So Rolex time with the Oyster Perpetual 36mm. This is the reference 126000. A very good looking watch. One way to quickly determine whether it's a 36mm or one of the others is the double battens at 3, 6 and 9. The 36mm has that, the rest don't. It's usually a sticking point for some people, or it's the selling point for others. Some people love it, some people don't. To be honest, it doesn't really bother me at all. And this is the really great green dial, as you can see. So obviously these pastel color Rolexes came out as a bit of a surprise, I think, to most people in the industry, in the hobby. But obviously it harps back to a time where Rolex was doing stellar dials on their day dates. And as a lot of you probably know, the stellar dials originally weren't massively popular, especially when they came out. Hasn't been until since the sort of past 10 years that they've started to really pick up among the trade, and in the past 4 years I would say really start to take off. Some of the stellar dials trading well over £100,000 just for one, depending on which one you have and the condition. So it's not really a huge surprise that Rolex have done this when you consider that fact, but again, it doesn't feel like a very typical Rolex thing to do, especially when you look at the colours available. Now obviously they've discontinued some of the colours and some of the colours in certain sizes, and I think it's safe to say it won't be long until all of them are discontinued and they make this a very short run. Obviously, none of us know that for sure, none of us have a crystal ball, but just looking at how Rolex usually operate with these kind of things, it wouldn't be very like them to keep it going for longer, and maybe they will, but either way, we don't know. This one's from September 2022. It's in lightly worn condition. It comes as a full set, everything with it, really great overall, and inside is the automatic Rolex caliber 3230, a very reliable and robust movement. So that's enough of the rambling. A really great watch. Let's show it on wrist and talk dimensions. And here we go on my 7-inch wrist. The 36mm is absolutely perfect. I love a 36mm Oyster case. I've said it before. I think it really is one of the perfect dimensions. You'll have to excuse the noise right there. But what you're looking at is 36mm by 43mm lug to lug, 11mm thick and 20mm on the lugs. Great proportions, so go check it out on the website today. Now on to a great value proposition if you're after a Rolex Explorer. This is the 14270, so not the 114270, the generation before. This is heavily worn. It was used as a daily watch, and we haven't had it polished. We're keeping it as is because I know some of you guys and girls out there actually really like a very well worn watch. And the great thing is, if you don't and you want the watch, we can have it polished for you and get it looking as good as possible. So we can always go forward in terms of getting a polish, but we can't go back. So if we get this polished, for those of you that want it like this, ready to go, ready to be worn and abused, you can go straight off with this, but we wouldn't be able to go back. So let's take a closer look at this one. Next up, an absolute classic. This is the Rolex Explorer 1, the watch that most of us consider the perfect one watch for someone who wants that one watch in their collection that can go anywhere, do anything, be used in any situation. And this one certainly was used over its life. This is the 14270 from circa 1996, so a potential birth year for one of you guys and girls out there. I'm 97, so it almost was mine. But as you can see, this is worn. I will not lie to you. This is definitely heavy worn. There is quite deep marks here on the lug, but other than that, everything else is pretty much surface mark wear from general wear, meaning that a polish will solve almost all of this. However, I think that's a bit too deep to get out completely. However, it will be made a lot softer by the polish and can be hidden quite well. But again, just for transparency, that is the wear on the watch. And we're presenting it like this because, as I said in the intro, once we polish our watch, we cannot go back. And this watch has probably been polished once in its life. As you can see, the case is super strong, really, really nice. Example, you still got the original finish on the top as well. So we don't want to keep polishing watches if we don't have to. And I know some of you guys and girls out there actually really enjoy buying a very well used watch, especially when you're getting it at that price as well. You know, it's reflected in the price because you can put it on without worrying. You don't have to go, oh no, I've put a scratch in it or anything like that. So that's how we're presenting it, and we can have it polished for you if you want to. Inside this is the automatic Rolex Caliber 3000. This watch comes with its original Rolex bracelet. It is not full on the links. We've put the link count on the website, but it will fit just over a 7-inch wrist in terms of bracelet size. As I say, circa 1996 T serial. But let's show it on wrist and talk dimension. And here we go on my 7-inch wrist. As I said in this start, if you wanted polish, we can do that. If you need more links, we can source them. Pretty much everything can be done. This is watch only. What we can't do is find papers, obviously. We do get asked that sometimes. I'm surprised, but no, we cannot find papers for you. And so this is 36mm by 44mm lug to lug, 11mm thick and 20mm on the lugs right here. It's endless options. A lot of people wear this on straps, but for me, the bracelet is where it's at. So go check this one out on the website today. Now on to the Chrono Tokyo. This is the Chronograph 1 MK2 with a very gorgeous sort of rose gold salmon dial with the black subdials. A really gorgeous watch in 38mm. Chrono Tokyo are doing great things, and again, you know, we've had quite a few through the door. They've all gone very well, and I suspect this one will as well. If you're interested, this is one for you. So let's take a closer look. Next up is the Chrono Tokyo Chronograph 1 MK2, one of the latest from Chrono Tokyo, featuring this beautiful rose gold salmon dial with the steel appliques, which really pop against this dial. Beautifully finished hands, black sub dial, and date over at 6 o'clock. Chrono Tokyo really are producing some really good looking watches, there's no doubt about it. I put them in the same camp as Ming in terms of just producing really high quality, consistent watches that look fantastic and are priced well as well. So the reference to this one is CB012U. I don't know why that was so difficult. This one's from December 22. It does come with its box and paperwork, and inside here is the automatic caliber NE86, which I believe is a Seiko caliber, paired on its original strap with its buckle, and it is worn but lightly worn, and that buckle, the profile of that is gorgeous. Look at that, really, really nicely done. So yeah, very good looking watch. Very good on wrist, very good proportions, and a very good brand doing great things. So let's show it on wrist and talk dimensions. And there we go, on my 7-inch wrist. It has a bit of thickness due to the movement, but in my opinion, it helps with the wearability. So what you're looking at is 38mm by 46mm lug to lug, 13mm thick, and 20mm on the lugs. And as I say, the thickness, in my opinion, helps with wearability. It just adds a little bit of beef to the case, which adds a bit of sort of, I don't know, presence, if you will. So go check this one out on the website today. Now on to a Scofield. This is the Signalman Bare Bones Rose Gold Dial. It's a very long name, but a really cool watch. It's sort of, well, as the name suggests, bare bones. It's Scofield stripped back to its bare bones as what the design is all about, and I think it's really cool. It won't be for everyone. For some people, Scofield is about that crazy dial as well that you can get, whereas I actually really like this. I think it looks really good, and it makes... It's weird because I know it isn't any smaller, but it makes it feel like it is slightly smaller on the wrist with this very simple, clean dial. More of an optical illusion, I guess, but let's take a closer look. So next up, another Scofield. You guys and girls know we enjoy getting a Scofield in stock. We've had multiple over the years, and we'll continue to stock them as they come up. I think they offer great value for what they produce and are very much in their own design, right? You know, you look at this and you know it's a Scofield. You don't really mistake it for anything else. The case profile, everything about it is exactly what Scofield is all about. And Giles over at Scofield is very much a reflection of his brand, or his brand is very much a reflection of him and his character, which is fantastic. So this is the Bare Bones Rose Gold, and inside is the automatic ETA 2824-2, and this is made of titanium, although it still has a bit of heft to it considering it is titanium. And that dial, the rose gold, almost salmon-like, really, really simple, clean and classic. Date over there at 3 o'clock as well. This one's from March 2019 with its box and papers, paired on its original Scofield strap, which is leather, but it has almost like a rubber-like quality to it. But let's show it on wrist and talk dimensions. And here we go on my 7-inch wrist. So this is where Scofield really won't be for some people due to the size. But as I always say, considering the size, it does wear very well. The sort of profile of the case, the thickness and the way the lugs slope down, it does fit. However, it is a big watch, so do keep that in mind. It is by no means a small watch. 43.5mm by 51.5mm lug to lug, 14.5mm thick, and 24mm on the lugs with screw lugs, as you can see. So a very cool watch. Go check it out on the website today. Now on to the Christopher Ward. This is the C65 Aquitaine, and I always want to call it Aquitaine, but it's spelled Aquitaine. Who knows? But a really cool watch nonetheless. This is a GMT. It has been released not that long ago, and again the prices on pre-owned market are fantastic. You really cannot go wrong. Christopher Ward from a retail perspective is very good value, but as soon as they become pre-owned, it's just undeniable. I own a Christopher Ward. That one's not going anywhere, so I do enjoy the brand. So let's take a closer look at this one. So Christopher Ward time with the C65 Aquitaine in black with the sort of faux loom. Looks really good. GMT hand over there, as you can see. Give it a whine, let's get it going. It has a screw down crown, which is nice. Not all of the models do come with screw down crowns. as I'm sure you guys now know with Christopher Ward, but it's nice when they do it because it just adds that extra confidence that we all come to expect from a screw down crown, even though technology wise we don't actually need it to get to the same sort of water resistancy anymore because of the technology of seals now, but it's kind of amazing. Anyway, exhibition case back, as you can see, displaying the automatic Solitaire SW330-2, and this one's from October 2022 with its box and paperwork paired on its original Christopher Ward black rubber strap, which is super comfortable and pretty much lasts forever just because of the way they've made them. They're really great. And yeah, the design is fantastic. I mean, Christopher Ward, a lot of you know, they are producing some fantastic watches at the moment, and the Belcanto has really just sort of pushed the limelight back on Christopher Ward in a very positive way, and showing that they are capable of doing so much more than just great looking dive watches, and they totally can do that as well, right? Here's one for example. But yeah, I like what they're doing. I think the direction they're going is fantastic. As I said in the intro, I own a Christopher Ward, and that will be staying a beautiful yellow dial that I need to wear a bit more often. But when I do, I really enjoy it. So let's show this one on wrist and talk dimensions. And here we go, paired on my 7-inch wrist, a super comfortable and well-designed watch. 41mm by 46.5mm lug to lug, only 12.5mm thick and 22mm on the lugs. So endless options for swapping out onto other straps, and there are bracelet options from Christopher Ward as well that you can pick up, and they're very reasonably priced when you consider what other brands are asking for their bracelets. It's kind of crazy, so go check this one out on the website today. Now on to a watch we've had a few times. This is the Baltic MR01 from Micro Rotor. You know, people absolutely love these, rightfully so. You've got a really beautiful 36mm case, applied brigade numerals. From a design perspective, this is so much watch for the money, and you really cannot go wrong. So let's take a closer look at this one. So next is Baltic Time, and this time with the MR01 in silver with the blue leather strap. Subdial, sub-seconds over there, as you can see, applied Arabic numerals on a textured white or silver or cream dial. Just works so well, especially in this 36mm case. It's so true to like early Pateks, and it just looks fantastic. As we flip it over, a very attractive micro rotor movement. This is a Chinese-made movement by Hangzhou, I believe, if I'm saying that correctly. This is a caliber 5000A, a very affordable micro rotor movement, which is interesting that Baltic have chose to use this to sort of emulate the design, because the design is fantastic and the movement is beautiful. And everything as a package really adds up, but it is done on the slightly more affordable side with the movement, and that's how they've managed to keep the price incredibly low and competitive, and this priced pre-owned is fantastic as well. This one's from July 2022 with its box and paperwork. I mean, we've had plenty of these in. You guys and girls know my opinion. I owned one personally. I had the silver one. We had one of the Collected Man limited editions as well. I think they're great, and where this is going to lead as they develop with this design, I think is exciting. So let's show it on wrist and talk dimensions. Here we go on my 7-inch wrist, a very good looking comfortable watch. This is 36mm by 43.5mm lug to lug, only 9.9, basically 10mm thick and 20mm on the lug, so endless options. This on a brown suede looks fantastic, and I know I say that about pretty much every watch, but it's definitely true for most watches, and this is one of them. So go check it out on the website today. Now we've got two Timexes. We've been trying to get a few more affordable bits for you guys and girls. I know you all enjoy them. So we're going to start with this one. This is the Timex Automatic in titanium, the new Expedition North. Really great looking watch, and I think for the money you cannot go wrong. Like, Timex are producing some absolutely hard-hitting watches straight out the bag. So let's take a closer look at this one. Timex time with the Expedition, if I can say it correctly, Expedition North in titanium. A very good looking watch, and again, a perfect sort of field watch for anyone wanting a go anywhere, do anything kind of watch that's built like a tank. Really nice signed crown that is also screw down, as you'd expect. A nice winding movement, and the exhibition case back is showcasing the automatic Miyota movement that Timex use. Again, retail on this is super fair considering the build quality and what you're getting, so as soon as it becomes or it comes onto the pre-owned market like this, it's a no-brainer really. This is 2022 with its box and paperwork. The reference I won't bore you with, you can see it on the website, but let's show it on wrist and talk dimensions. And here we go on my 7-inch wrist. You can see it fits nicely. It's definitely got that field watch look to it with the lume and the texture on the black dial. It's just done really, really well. So 41mm by 49.5mm lug to lug, 13mm thick and 20mm on the lugs. So go check this one out on the website today. And the last one on the table is the Timex Waterbury Hiddenki Limited Edition. Hiddenki's stated there on the dial. Very difficult to see, but you can just about see it above Waterbury. I think it's a nice little thing that they've added the name but not made it the focus point of the watch. Well done, Hiddenki, that's reserved. So let's take a closer look at this. Next up, a very good looking limited edition with Timex and Hiddenki with the Waterbury, and you can see just under Waterbury stated on the dial there, Hiddenki written in black. And it's very hard to see, it only appears in certain lights, and I think it's nicely done, it's tastefully done, which is very good of Hiddenki. Very clean design with the Explorer style dial, vibrant red second hand. It's just a very good looking watch, and again at the price you really cannot go wrong at retail. So as soon as it becomes pre-owned like this, it becomes even more of a no-brainer. You have a signed crown there, not screw down this time, and a very nice spun case back. Simple, clean design. Again, I won't bore you with the reference to this one, but inside is an automatic Miyota 8215, and this is from 2022 with its box and paperwork. Just like the last one, hardly worn to be honest, and obviously signed buckle as well. But let's show on wrist and talk dimensions. And here we go on my 7-inch wrist. Very similar to the other watch we just looked at from Timex, but this one's slightly smaller and a bit more compact on the wrist at 40mm by 47mm lug to lug, 12.5mm thick and 20mm on the lugs. So endless options, but I really like it on the strap pairing, to be honest. So go check it out on the website today. So there you have it, guys and girls. This week's drop, as I said, a huge variety. I think you guys and girls are going to really enjoy this one, especially from this crazy Zenith El Primero Pantone edition all the way to a Timex Hiddenki. I mean, how incredible to have all of this in the same drop in the same week, and that's what we really like. Last week's drop went really well. On the Saturday, a load of the pieces went, and as we stand right now on Wednesday, quite a lot of the drop is actually gone already, so thank you guys very much. We are doing our best to get interesting watches in, but also making sure they are priced incredibly competitively, straight out of the bag. You guys and girls are seeing this. A lot of you are recognising this. We are priced pretty much the best in the UK, almost always. I can't guarantee always, because at the end of the day, we can't always be the cheapest. That's not our goal. Our goal is to provide the best service we possibly can, whilst also giving you the best deal we possibly can. And I think we do a pretty good job of that, and I think you guys and girls would agree with that. So head over to the website, check them out, and don't forget to check out the other watches we have. There's like 80, 90 other watches on the website beyond just this drop. So there really will be something for everyone. And if you see something you like, don't hesitate, send us an email, send us a message. Let's talk, let's discuss, and let's see if we can do something. So thank you all very much for watching, and we'll see you all again next week for episode 100. How insane is that? We'll see you then. Take care.